Anyway, so we obviously, discussed Russia. First of all, Russia, you should be fucking embarrassed. I think Russia should be embarrassed.
I wouldn't go that far.
I would.
I wouldn't go that far. In fact, I would say they're doing a pretty good job with the fact that they have Europe and the United States funding the military, the Ukrainians. And not to mention, at the same point in time, they're taking their national currency. They are taking their national currency. Well, we're taking our national currency, so that's not saying much more.
8.5% over the last 12 months, but so Bangham Financial, if you don't know anything about that.
So, and not to mention that it's not just Ukrainians they're fighting. There's people come from all over the world that are basically brainwashed into fighting these wars. Or you can also say, I'm not saying that there is, but I'm saying that there's probably a high possibility of some kind of Delta Force or some kind of British SAS or something like that operating in Ukraine.
I mean, I could see that. So, I mean, you hear all the time about these, former private contractors and everything, just from the United States who have gone over to Ukraine.
Right. And these are highly skilled.
These are highly trained operatives
that are extremely more capable than just a regular old Russian soldier,
right? Or
a U.S. soldier. I don't want to put that in the wrong spot,
right? Just more so than a private, in the army or the
right.
Well, shit, I don't think they're privates in the Navy or Air Force or anything. Whatever, you understand what I'm saying,
right?
So yes, that obviously is also going on.
Now, it's not like Russia's fighting a war against a bunch of farmers. That is absolutely not the truth.
No. Well, on top of that, they are also getting funding and weapons shipments, everything from Western countries.
Right.
Let's be honest.
Right. So their military capabilities might be even stronger than the Russians are at this point.
Yeah, and I'm hearing crazy stories. Crazy stories. I keep saying, I don't understand why this shit keeps showing up on my feed, on my telephone. Crazy stories. Like, Russia has, pulled their, I believe they're on the, 6th generation of fighter planes. They pulled the rest of them back because they already lost 24. And they are now just using the 5th generation of fighter planes because they are losing too many planes. Air superiority is failing for them. They have lost their number one, apparently, this is a story I heard, not confirmed, obviously. Their top helicopter pilot also killed in action. Not confirmed.
This sounds like old school World War II propaganda, to be honest with you.
And that's exactly where we're going. Is this propaganda? Is this just the population, the populace being lied to? Are these stories true? Where can we find credit and merit, with I guess news organizations?
How do you have? I mean, I can understand like a Top Gun fighter pilot or something like that, knowing how many takedowns or kills one has. But how would you know if you're the best helicopter pilot? That is something that I don't first of all understand.
Because I believe he was one of the main training instructors for the Russian military. This is what I heard. Okay. Anyway, this is what I read from the story. So he was very highly ranked.
Regarded.
Was he the best?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
But
either way, he was up there in the chain of command, we will say.
See, you can just tell by the okay. So I don't know how many planes have been taken down or anything, but first of all, I don't.
24 of the Su. 25.
Well, first of all,
I
don't,
might be wrong on that.
I wouldn't completely believe the numbers in the first place.
Yeah, and that's what I'm getting at. How much of this is propaganda? How much of this is, hopes and dreams? How much of this is just bullshit?
I think in general, I think that people that just read something and believe it right off are the same kind of people
That's why I always ask
are believing
questions.
and yeah, exactly, in all the fucking horse shit going on in this country. So, first of all, I question everything outright. Are they losing these planes? They're probably losing. Yes, they're probably losing some of these planes, and the reason why they're losing these planes isn't because the funding and the weapons,
the Western countries are setting down, surface to air missiles. Let's be honest.
And secondly, that might be an actual mistake by the Western countries because they're showing them our weapon capabilities. And if they're able to adjust to our weapon capabilities of shooting down their planes, then that's going to make us much less effective if it ever escalates into an outright world war.
Well, I mean, you bring up the term world war,
right? We are in a world war.
I'm honestly, I'm actually. Look, I'm going to go ahead and say I'm terrified by that.
It's already started.
If it escalates, though, I don't see anything other than a nuclear, situation going down.
I am in the belief, and this might just be wishful thinking on my part, but I believe that we are basically in a Cold World War.
I mean, that's fair.
And I don't think it will escalate into a full-on head-to-head U.S. and Europe versus China and Russia. I don't think that will ever happen because that is a mutually assured destruction on all sides. I think this will all play out in proxy wars. It is happening right now in Ukraine. It may possibly happen in the future in Taiwan, although I do think that's less likely, learning what I've learned recently. And I think because Japan and Taiwan could team up together, and China would be in a lot of difficulty considering that they're having all kinds of financial difficulties to start with.
Well, I mean, at the same point in time, wouldn't it be just a similar situation to Russia, Ukraine? Japan and Taiwan, China?
Taiwan is a much smaller country, and if they decided to outright fight back, they have, as we, you haven't seen it yet, but Taiwan has the capabilities of making extremely powerful and accurate missiles at long range. And there are targets in China that are susceptible to these weapons. And I will just say one right now, just to show you how susceptible they are. There is a dam in China that holds water back from 4 different cities, and Beijing being the end basin of it. But if they took the dam out, it would take 4 cities out.
Was it you that showed me that picture the other day of that dam? It was a hydroelectric dam, right? Correct?
I don't know if it was that one, but I'll show it to you. I'll show it to you later.
Anyway, yeah, we can talk about this.
So basically, what I'm saying is that China is in a highly just like if Taiwan know that it's going to be taken over and they decided to launch missiles, China would be hurting for a very long time after these missiles went off. And Japan would not be very happy about it either, and would be extremely on the defensive. It might actually cooperate with the Taiwanese.
Right, but I mean, at the same point in time, I believe that morality would come into the play of the decision making here on this point. They wouldn't wipe out 4 cities of relatively innocent people just to prove a point.